Hello Capricorn, thank you very much for tuning in to your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night, and that's who it's by in the back if you would like to know. If you look it up online though, you could easily find the deck. I just don't want to butcher that name. So, there you go. Relationship first, single second. Okay. I'm like, there's already like the way the cards came down. Like there's a spot. Okay, stop. I almost want to pull out this bottom card, and I feel like this is an unseen influence over the whole thing. So let's bring that up after. It's almost like a current, like an undercurrent, not really seen, but actually affecting the whole thing. So this whole thing in this with you and your partner. You're Capricorn. You've got the Nine of Wands. You're holding your ground. That's my first thought. Holding your ground. Capricorns are good at holding their ground usually. Not for nothing. I mean, they don't want to move. You don't usually move them. Your partner has the Knight of Wands. They're trying to get motion. They're trying to move things. So your partner is trying to get you to do something, and you're like, no. And they're like, yes. And you're like, no. I'm feeling that energy. They're like, yes. And you're like, no. And they keep pushing. I said yes. And you're like, well, I said no. That's what I'm feeling, back and forth, back and forth. It just feels like it's not changing here. Now, this is like the rock in the middle of the situation. Like, it's almost like the rock in the middle of the field. It's a good field, but you're both really obsessed with, like, this rock is in the field, this big giant rock. And you're both unhappy with it, but you're doing different things to handle it. It's like literally you're dealing with the same situation, and you just both have different ideas about how to handle it. And you're both like, I'm not doing it your way. I feel that kind of going. Like, no, I'm not doing it your way. We're doing it my way. You're both in that boat. Like, no, we're doing it my way. And you're like, no, I'm not doing it your way. And they're like, yes, we're doing it my way. You're going back and forth is what I constantly feel. So if this is hitting, like right off the bat, you should know if this is for you or not, because that's what's happening. That's setting the stage for this whole situation. This is the undercurrent of the whole thing too. You got individuality. Like you both seem to like, I don't see a cooperative effort. I see you both looking at it like you're handling it on your own. And you're both doing this is what I'm getting. And I feel like they're saying this is the undercurrent which is causing the problem. You're not handling it like a team. You're handling it like individuals. Like, you're not, you know what I mean? You're not working it out like, what do you need? What do I need? What do you think? What do I think? It's kind of like, I know what I'm going to do. I know how to handle this. This is what we will do because I'm saying it, that this is what we should do. And you're both handling it in an individual sense, not as a team effort. And I feel like that's the whole kicker to the whole thing. That's why this whole problem is here. Now, I do see at some point someone has to give one way or another. And it's interesting to me that Capricorn, yes, you could hold your ground all day, all night for as long as you want. But I'm also seeing you kind of coming around in the sense of like, it's not like you want to, I don't want to say you want to give in, but I feel like you're looking at, for example, this rock in the middle of the field, and you're just like, you're getting annoyed with it being there. You're like, this problem is just here. It's not going anywhere. We're not solving anything. We're not fixing anything because we're just kind of arguing. And I feel like you're not happy about it, but you're like, something has to happen. And the longer that stupid rock is there, the less happy I am. And neither of us are giving in. You got the Justice with the Ace of Wands, and you're just kind of like, all right, I need to create motion here. I need something to start happening. This stagnant thing is not working, and it's actually getting under my skin. This is actually going to really tick me off if we don't start doing something. And you're looking at what your partner wants, and you're just like, it will fix the problem. It will start correcting things, and you're just like, you know what? I need something to happen. And I'm feeling a frustration here, And I feel like it's just kind of like I can't sit here and just keep looking at this stupid rock. And if they're not going to go my way, whatever, it will work their way. I don't even care anymore. And I feel like you're getting frustrated. I feel the frustrated energy here. Kind of like, you know what, I'm sick of arguing. I'm getting that Two of Swords actually is what's helping. Like, you're realizing this is a stalemate. And you're realizing that one of you has to give in for change to actually happen. And you're like, this rock has to move. This rock has to go somewhere. And you're sick of it. You're like, I don't see them giving in. And you're like, I don't feel like I want to fight this anymore. And you're just kind of like, I could stand here all day, all night. I could. And you know you could. That's not the issue. You're like, I don't want this to just stay where it is. We have to create something out of this. And you're like, I am going to give in because I want something to happen. More than holding my ground, I want a change, and I need that to happen. So I will. You're not happy about it. I know you're not happy about it. And I'm getting this here with the was it the 4? Yep, 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups, and it's connected. Like, you're seeing the differences. You know they're not going to give in. You know how they are. And you're like, I can be just as strong as they are with this, but we're just going to be sitting here months later, still looking at this stupid rock. Months later, it's not working for me. I'd rather just give in and get over it. You don't want to. Again, you really don't want to. But you also have this in your challenge position. You have the Star card. Like, at least something will happen. It's the challenge for you. Like, the sooner you come to this, you're actually in the power position to get change to happen here. And it's hopeful, kind of like, you know what, maybe if I give in this time, maybe they'll realize that and they'll give in later. I don't feel like you're going to bank on that thought, but you're like, maybe. All right, so it's interesting because I see your partner, like, they have the Emperor card. What they want to happen here, they do believe in. And the interesting thing is, between the two of you, you both have the same emotional investment in the situation, whatever it is. You just want to handle it different ways. And I see them kind of looking that you're backing off, and they also see why you're backing off. They know very full well that you don't want to, but you want things to change and you need something to get better. And it's a weird feeling on their side, kind of like they know why you're backing off. And they know why you're going their way. They know flat out why this is happening. They're not at all in the dark about that, but they're in the dark about something. Obviously, they got the Moon card coming up. But I feel them understanding why. They're like, but they don't know where this is going. They're questioning, like, all right, it's kind of like, when am I going to have to pay my dues for this? They got the Moon card with the 8 of Cups, and I feel like them looking into the future with the 8 of Cups, kind of like, all right, I won this battle, technically. But the Moon card with this 8 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups is in their spiritual position, and I feel like looking towards the future for them. Like, all right, you know, I got my way this time, but what price am I gonna pay for that? It's a very weird feeling for me. Because they know why you're doing this, but they're wondering, like, how is this going to balance out later? I am getting that feel. Because they're like, I don't know how I'm going to have to pay this back later, but they seem to be realizing, like, I'm going to have to pay this back later. And they're uneasy about it. They are. The Wheel technically, see, this is their challenge card. I feel this exactly explains what's going on with them. The Wheel turned in their favor this time. But they're not fool about it. I feel like they're like, yeah, the wheel turned this way. But it's kind of like if you think of a captain's wheel on a ship, you turn it this way to go left, we're going to say, if I did that right. But then you have to turn it back, and then you're going to have to turn right later. So, like, it's going to have to go back. It's not going to just stay their way, and they know that. Fate went their way this time, but it won't stay that way. It will balance out, and it will go the other way at some point. And they know that. And they're a little uneasy about it. Now, how they're leaving this time is a very interesting thing. Because you got the 7 of Pentacles on their side, but they also have the Lust card. Now, lust doesn't have to be physical lust. It can be very much like money lust. It can be very much about having their way and trying to keep it and just trying to live into it. You know what I mean? Just like, just trying to run with it, trying to get their way as long as possible. You know, money lust is kind of similar, like just going for the money, trying to get more money, kind of scraping for money, trying to get as much money as you can. But you know what I mean? It's not, lust isn't always physical in the sense of like lusting for a person. It can be lusting for a situation, lusting for an outcome, something like that, like so centered on it that they're not seeing like the outside effects of like their direct, you know, goal and what they're doing to get that goal. The end justifies the means. Ends justify the means. That's kind of that feel. That's kind of a lust feel, in my opinion. You know what I mean? You're lusting for what you want. You're not caring about what it takes to get there. That's the type of thing I'm feeling here. And I feel like on your partner's side, this is a danger. Like they're trying to get around it, or they're trying to make sure everything in this current situation goes exactly as planned. That lust tinge is telling me like making some situational morality movements where they're making decisions to keep going the way they want to keep going. They could be a little drunk with power here. This is really going a little crazy in my opinion. That card is strong. So they might get a little drunk with power. There's a lust for strength. There's a lust to keep things the way they want them. Be aware of that. What are you supposed to do with this, quite frankly? They're saying just see it for what it is. Because I feel like they might get, like, things are going their way, and they're going to try to keep things going their way as long as they possibly can. When you start giving in, I feel like what they're saying is, see, I feel you completely giving in. That's the strange thing. It's kind of like, well, if it's not going to go my way, just here, do it. Let's just do it the whole thing your way. I just feel like you're throwing your hands up like, then let's just do it all your way then. Fine. It's your boat. Do it. I see them kind of trying to keep it going their way as long as they can, getting kind of drunk on the situation. So they're going to kind of try to drag you along with them, going their way as long as they possibly can. You might want to set boundaries. When you give into this, you might want to set some boundaries, is what I'm getting to, like, all right, we'll go your way, we'll handle this situation the way you want to handle it, but only within these boundaries, not outside. Like, I will work with you within these boundaries. I will agree with you within these boundaries. So as long as you stay within these boundaries, we're cool. I will help you. I will go along with this. I will support this. But you might want to set boundaries right in the beginning. Because what I'm getting on your side is you're fed up, and you might just throw your hands up like, whatever you want to do, we'll do. Because you're frustrated. But they're saying if you set boundaries when you give in, because it does feel like you're going to give in. I know how that sounds, but that's what I'm getting here. If you set these boundaries, like, I'll help you, I'll go your way, we'll do it your way within this set of rules. Within this. If you do that, this goes easier for you, and it keeps them from kind of going too far out of the lines. They're going to try to color outside the lines. They're still going to try to. But you're going to, I feel you'll have more of a standing, like I told you before, I will not go outside these lines, and you're going outside these lines, and you have somewhere more strongly, you have a stronger standing point to say, listen, no, knock it off. Get back in there. Get back in the parameters that I set. I said I'd help you. I said I'd go along with this, but you're coloring outside the lines. Knock it off. And it's easier. It's easier. It's still going to be a little bit something, but it's easier. And I feel like that's where this is kind of moving on. All right. So that's what we have for Capricorns in relationships. I don't know if it's that bad. I don't know how you view it, but I mean, it's doable. I have a feeling for the people that really clicks with, it's kind of like, you know, same story, different day is kind of what I'm feeling from that. I don't think that's a new situation for you. But maybe this current one maybe helps you navigate future ones. I'm not sure. But I feel like for those of you who it really clicks in with, it's kind of like, yeah, same story, different day. Like, it happens all the time. Now, what do we have for single Capricorns? Messages for single Capricorns. What do we have for single Capricorns? Oop. Oh, how many cards? 2 cards face down. That is future influence. I don't know what they are. We'll find out what they are when I flip them over. Capricorn. That's interesting. I mean, those 2 cards are face down, but somebody's doing something here. Is there a third-party influence? Because that's what I'm feeling. I'm not really seeing cards, that really promote that just yet. Maybe one, maybe. I'm already getting like a third-party influence coming up in the future. We'll see. Somebody, I'm wondering if somebody's going to step in your way or something. I don't know why we moved that card because I'm not looking at it, but there you go. All right. Capricorn. You got the Six of Pentacles. No, it's the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, this is kind of the history card. So, and I'm seeing this at the top too. This is very interesting. You got the Five of Pentacles at the top, the Six of Cups where you're standing. It's kind of like the feeling of lack. And I feel like what it's connected to, and this is a past card. The Ace of Cups. You've had what you wanted before. For whatever reason, it went away. I'm getting like the type of relationship you've had in the past. You've had really good relationships in the past. I think there's a really good energy here, but for whatever reason, it moved on. You want something that level. And that's why I'm getting the Ace of Cups with the Six of Cups. There's something, like you know what a good relationship is what I'm getting. If this reading's going to hit with you, you know what a good relationship is, you know what you want, you know what you want to connect with, you know what it is. You have a clear vision about what type of relationship you want. The Five of Pentacles is saying nobody's matching what you want. You're not finding it. It's not just about the magnetism, because I feel like that's the kicker. It's not just about the magnetism or being into somebody and wanting to be with them. You want somebody who's going to support your life, not going to be aggravated the way you live life, because I feel like that's a thing here. Like you do things a certain way. You're very dependable. That's usual for Capricorn from what I experience. Very dependable, and you like things done a certain way, and you expect them to be done that way. Is what I'm getting. And you're looking for somebody who adds in, who's either like they have their own set of rules in life that actually complement yours, or they're okay with going your way on these things. And that's what you're looking for. And I feel like what you're looking at is also like you don't want somebody to like just go your way. Like you don't want to have power over somebody. You want somebody who's like they agree and that's how they like living life too, or they could use a little bit more structure in their life. And when they come into your life, they're like you have structure that they enjoy, and they actually get benefit from the structure you already have. You're not looking to control anybody, not anything like that, but you're looking for somebody who matches, and that's what they want out of life. So the passion isn't enough, because you don't want to come across somebody who's just you're constantly arguing with. They get upset because they think you're too boring, or they think you're too regimented, and because you're so predictable, they don't like that. In your opinion, like if that's just how they feel, then you're not the match for them, and that's okay. Let's not beat that any more to death than we already have. Now, so again, you know what you want, you're just not finding a match for that. Like somebody who's like either interested in your level of structure or who wants to be a part of that type of structure and feels like their life would benefit from it. So as we keep going forward, you're looking though. I feel the five, not the five. This is the Eight of Pentacles, but I'm feeling a five feel here for some reason. Like when the five comes forward, I'm getting an image like you are finding people you're interested in and who are interested in you, but it's kind of like as you keep looking closer, you're kind of like, no, I don't think so. Or in the very beginning, it's kind of like you're going on a date or two, or you're hanging out with this person or people, and you're already seeing mismatches. You're already seeing where they're a little bit too spontaneous for you, or they're kind of ribbing you already or picking on you already for being so regimented and so predictable, and you're just like, well, I'm not that predictable, and they're like, yeah, you are, and then they pick on you about it, and you're like, nope, that's not gonna work for me. You're working on it though. I'm not surprised. Like Earth anyway, Earth as it is, but you know, Capricorn working on it, like I'm not surprised you're trying. You're working on it, you're looking. Okay, so that just seems very humdrum. Just kind of this is what's happening, blah, 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 blah. I want to kind of step out of that energy here. And I'm going to kind of skip forward because I feel like you're trying. But this, I feel like this is, okay. Skipping forward, I feel like explains this person very well. And I'm feeling like I'm saying skipping forward, and I'm just like, that's not really the way Capricorns would do it. Capricorns don't skip forward. They do what they need to do. They build appropriately. And I'm saying, I'm going to skip forward. I'm like, I think that would be annoying to a Capricorn, wouldn't it? So, as I'm seeing this, and I'm saying that, you got the Knight of Wands pop in, and you got the reminder here. Somebody's jumping forward. Somebody's trying to get, like, they're trying to create a spark. Somebody's kind of like, they're all about it. They want to be with you. They're like, we can work this out. They're trying to coerce you into doing what they want. I'm getting a very seductive feel here. I'm also seeing they're coming at you very strongly, but the reminder card is very curious. Because what I'm getting here is the Hanged Man with this person. I don't think this person is a new person to your life. I feel like this is a person who flits in and out. This is a person who shows up, tries really hard to get you to do what they want. You don't seem to go their way, and then they disappear. And I feel like you're looking at this like, well, if you spent more time and gave me more time to think about things, maybe I would go your way a little bit more. But it's like, boom, they're here. They come at you. They drive you crazy for a minute, I think. And then they're like, oh, this isn't working. Boom, they're gone. And you're just kind of like, can you hang around for a while? Give me a chance to get my bearings with you? And they seem to flit in and out so quickly because they try. They don't see anything happening. They don't think anything will happen. They feel like the situation's just stuck. The Hanged Man is here. And they just kind of disappear. And I feel that when these come in, it's like somebody's trying to skip ahead. And the reminder is telling me this isn't the first time this person has shown up. But they have this tendency to, like, they come out of nowhere. They're here. Boom, 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 boom. Do this. Let's do this. There's a very seductive feel to it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And you're like, eh. Like you might actually go out to dinner or go somewhere with them, but you won't go to the level they want to go. However far they want to take this, you're like, no, that's too far for me. That's not where I'm going to go right now. And then they feel like, all right, but then you don't have interest, and they disappear. But this is somebody who comes back and forth. So, excuse me, this jump ahead attitude, I'm getting that right off the bat. You're just like, no, we need some time to get to know each other. I don't jump forward like that. It's not my thing. And I'm getting the hiccups here because I feel like it's an upsetting moment for you. Not because of how it happens, but the fact that you actually could like this one, and that's the way it's happening. They're here, they're very intense, and then they jet. And you're just kind of like, if you didn't jet and you just hung around longer, this could work, is how you're viewing it. But they're gone. You're just kind of like, really? That's the stress of it. Because you're like, this jump ahead attitude, I don't like it. This is not me. And then they jet. That's just kind of like, if you just hang around a little longer. Now, I'm noticing the King of Swords pop in, which don't get caught up in the gender, with the Vision. And I feel like you're trying to communicate with this one. After this person, like, they jet, you're kind of like, all right, hold on. This person flits in and out every now and then. They obviously have interest in me. They want to be with me, and I feel like that's how you're looking. Like, they obviously want to be with me because they keep coming back around. Let me see if I can keep communication open with them, and maybe we can build something more on my terms. Even if they're not, over the moon about it, maybe I can actually stimulate some conversation, and maybe we can build something a little more here. This is, like, it's been a while since you've found somebody who really kind of, engages your feelings here. And you're like, I would actually like to see if we can build this a little better. Maybe this person could really benefit from a little bit more stability in their life. So let me see if I can kind of, put this out there for them and see if maybe they'll bite on that. Maybe we can just get to know each other a little more. I want to get to know them a little more. You do like this person, and I feel like it's quality of character. Even though they flit in and out, you like how they talk to you. That you like that they're respectful to other people. You like the moral standing of them. Like, they're very on point. They're very honest. I feel like you like the honesty. You're like, I know that they tell me the truth about how they're feeling. It just doesn't match how I feel at the time. They want to go forward a lot quicker. I just don't want to, but they do tell me honestly where they stand. So I do like that. And that's something I can work with. And I feel like you want to work with it because of the honesty and the quality of character. So here's the two face-down cards. What do we have? The Four of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. It's a drudging thing. You're trying, and you're trying to keep in contact with this person, they don't seem to be convinced. See, because you're trying to work it out. You got the Two of Pentacles. You're like, quality of character here is worth it. Let's see if I can find some way to work this out so where we can build something and maybe we can make something of it in the future. I'm getting this face down kind of like, and I don't see the third party, but I feel like there could be. I still feel like there could be. You probably won't see it, but I'm feeling like somebody else is getting their attention. Because that seems to be like they're going on to someone else, that energy, and I'm feeling like the Four of Swords with the Page of Pentacles is telling me they're seeing it like it's too long of a trip. It's going to take too long, and they're not really convinced it'll work. To them, it just seems too labored. And the Four of Swords is making me feel like there's something else going on around them that they're not telling you about. I almost feel like somebody else has their interest and they're not coming towards you because they're not going to dip into two situations at once, but they're not really coming forward with it, almost like it's not appropriate or it's not warranted. It's kind of like they're treating this like we're friends. You and I are friends, me and the Capricorn are friends, and I don't want to tell them this other stuff right now, but I'll just make sure the conversations don't go a place where it's valid. So they're keeping some distance from you so it's not really a factor, because they feel like if they get too close to you, they're going to have to tell you there's somebody else they're kind of interested in, and they don't want to do that. So they're purposely keeping distance so there's not a conflict in that sense. And I'm getting that where this ends up is the Nine of Wands, or not the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Swords. I feel like they're kind of moving on from you slowly. They'll communicate with you, they'll talk with you when you start the communication, but you're not seeing a reciprocation of that. And I feel like you're upset about it because you're not understanding why they won't. It seems like there's an open question mark, like why aren't they reciprocating? Why aren't they trying? I feel like there's somebody else influencing them. There's something else they're going towards. So they're not promoting this beyond a friendship, and they're not trying to go towards you because they don't want to be misleading. Meanwhile, they're not telling you exactly why they're not wanting to go any farther. They're not trying to do that. They're trying to make it a non-issue. They want to make it a non-issue. Like they're seeing somebody else sort of, but they're not really sure where that's going, so they're not making it an issue. They're not promoting things with you because they don't want to give a false pretense. So they're just kind of like when you communicate to them, they'll respond, they'll be nice, but they seem to be kind of avoiding you, kind of like letting it go to the side again. I just feel like this person you're interested in or comes towards you, they want something quicker. They're looking to get closer a little bit quicker, and it's just not your speed, is what I'm getting. It's just a mismatch for that reason. All right, I think we're good there. All right, I'm going to let that be there. I hope that helps. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.